just start off with my little disclaimer again. I'm in the office at these people's house that I'm watching, and it has this fantastic view in the front of the house and really good lighting, but unfortunately, you can hear the sounds of the highway, which is actually way out that way, but that carries up the noise, I guess, so you might hear that. But anyway, I made myself a little talking points list here so I don't forget everything I want to tell you. I made a video a couple of days ago, or maybe a week ago by now, of just some of the humorous things that have been happening to me while I have been staying here, so I'll catch you up, just the very quick version. If you want to hear some of the things I mentioned before, you can go watch that video. I forget what it was called, something about house sitting or dog sitting, or maybe both, and then I'm going to tell you what else has happened. So the first thing was that there's this incredibly steep hill, Hill, in front of the house, which is fine. Like, I'm an able-bodied person and I can walk up and down it, no problem, but I've been having to do it many times a day because the dog, at least at first, was refusing to do number 2 unless I would take her all the way down that hill and walk her around and go on like 3 walks a day, just very high maintenance stuff. So the other thing is that the dog, as I mentioned to you guys, I was so worried that she was going to die because it's funny now, but at the time it was really stressing me out. She didn't eat or drink for like 3 days, and I had to talk to my friend who was a vet and all kinds of stuff, and I thought I was gonna have to take these people's dog to the vet, which would not have been my fault, but it would have, what if their dog had died while I was here because it wouldn't eat and it was so depressed. So anyway, it didn't matter what I tried. If I gave it a treat or if I just tried to play with her or whatever, like the only time she would move would be to go on a walk or for me to let her outside. I tried everything. I poured some water on the food even, and so what I finally figured out, the owner told me that the dog loves scrambled eggs, so I scrambled an egg, mixed it in with the food, and she ate it, no problem. Then she wasn't drinking, so she still hadn't drank anything in 3 days. At some point, I don't know how I figured this out, I give her more food at 5, so she gets food when I wake up, and she gets food at like 5. And one time when I left, I realized when I came back that all of her food and water were gone. So every time when I would leave for more than like a 10-minute period to either to go to my house or to go run errands or something, I would come back and all of the food and water would be gone. So I thought, okay, dog, like this is how it's gonna have to be. Basically making me your you-know-what, and I would have to leave in order to get the dog to eat. So I got sick of that because that's a waste of gas. So I realized I could get a chair from the kitchen, go outside, open the garage, and shut it like I had left, and then sit in the driveway at the top of this hill and just chill out for like 30 minutes and pretend I was gone, like sit in a spot where the dog couldn't see me. So I was playing this ridiculous mind game with the dog. Well, then eventually that quit working. She must have figured out that I hadn't left or something. So once again, we were back to not eating. Then, and mind you, she also still wouldn't do number 2. She'd only done it like twice in the long amount of time that I've been here. So then my boyfriend comes over the other day. We were going to make dinner, and I don't know why, because the dog didn't act like this before, but whatever the door was, he had come in. She must have thought he was her owner, or just because it was a male's voice or something, she starts freaking out and just going nuts, like the most movement I have seen from her the whole time I've been here. She wanted to play, she wanted to run around. She like runs up to my boyfriend and starts eating all of her food, just inhaling her food right next to him, drinks all her water, and then runs outside and takes a crap obviously he can't be here all the time. So then yesterday, when I called him, I guess she heard his voice on the phone. She started freaking out again in a way that, like, I was almost afraid that I was going to be bitten by this dog because she was just acting so nuts. And then she ran around, she played with me, she ate in front of me again and drank. Unfortunately, today she has yet to eat in front of me. I left to go to my house earlier to check the mail, and she had eaten, but I'm going to feed her again in a minute, and I doubt that she's going to eat that with me here. Whatever, so that is what I was dealing with. Then, in the meantime, during all this, you guys know that I saw the bears. A couple days ago, I posted videos of that, which, oddly enough, my first instinct was to film it for you guys. So I have a couple smaller videos I took when I'm not whispering or making noise that I've been able to show, like my family and some of my friends. But my dad wants the full-length videos like that you guys have, and I told him, these are the ones like from YouTube. So as long as you're okay with, if you don't think it's weird and you can watch those, then that's fine. But don't show them to like all your friends or anything, or they're gonna be like, why is your weird daughter whispering about bears when she's inside? Doesn't she know that the bears aren't inside? Something like that. So anyway, alright, so we have the bears. What else do I have on my list? Also, the dog snores extremely loudly, and I also think that she might have asthma. That's not meant to be funny, it's just that she makes some of the most alarming noises, like when she's just breathing or when she's asleep, and I think she has asthma. And also, this, I know I'm talking really fast, guys. This is because this is kind of just not even really meant to be relaxing, but I promised some of you that I would give an update. But it's all a lot funnier now talking about this than it has been while I've been here. I've stayed here as a favor to a man and woman who my boyfriend worked with them at one time, and since then they've all three of them have started their own separate businesses, but they remained good friends and they needed a favor. And I'm kind of thinking, since it was last minute that I agreed to do this for them, I kind of think maybe it was hard for them to find people because they knew how their dog was. If that makes sense. Like, I've never experienced a dog like this in my life with such anxiety or depression and everything. I think she was a rescue dog, but that was a really long time ago. That could be a part of it. But if I even say, if she does something that I tell her not to do, and then she'll run away and go sit down, like today I had to put her medicine on, her tick medicine. I know you probably just thought I said T-I-C-K, medicine. And she ran away. So I'd say, come here, like in a nice voice, come here. Anytime you say the word come here, she trembles and shakes and like freaks out. And I know that the owners are not abusive or anything. They're the sweetest people, but it makes me wonder what happened to her that she freaks out at like absolutely everything. Even when I try to give her a treat, she's like freaks out. So, what else? The snoring. Another time. So she has not like peed in the house or anything, but just randomly one night I was sitting on the couch. This was the same day when I was so excited that she finally ate and drank her food and she wasn't gonna die. And I was sitting on the couch talking to my sister for maybe 30 minutes. The dog, they have an L-shaped couch, and the dog was laying on the long side of the L right next to me, and I'd been petting her. She didn't act like she had to go out, nothing at all. And when I get off the phone with my sister, I get up and the dog gets up, and there are two huge pee spots on the couch. And of course these people have a suede couch. That would totally happen to me, a freaking suede couch. So I had to figure out, like, Google how to clean suede, and I mixed up like vinegar and water and all this stuff, and I went through a whole roll of paper towels. But then I let the dog out when I figured out she'd peed on the couch. When she comes back in, she tracks mud all over. They have a big ottoman, which is also suede, micro suede, and tracks mud all over it. So I spent about an hour and a half, 2 hours cleaning these people's furniture, which, I mean, I probably didn't have to do that, but I felt obligated to do that because it was my fault. But that was the other thing. Then, last 2 nights ago, I went out with some friends. There was like a New Orleans themed sort of a thing going on where we live. So I left the dog about 5:30 in the afternoon. I took her out a bunch of times before I left because I knew I wouldn't get back till really late. So one thing led to the other. I can't really explain, but I was not able to come home until about 4 in the morning. So I was really nervous that the dog might have peed inside. I was totally expecting it, and she had not. So I let her out, and remember, I'm still afraid that there's bears outside, so I always have to take a flashlight. Well, the dog, Mushy, her name's Mushy, she goes running outside and runs under their trampoline, almost into this wall. They have like a stone retainer wall. I thought she had run into the wall. I can't even see her. She like runs over there to pee, then runs over almost off of the side of a hill and poops, and then just dives straight off the hill. Like, no idea where she went. It's the same place where the bears were the other day. So she just disappears, which is totally uncharacteristic of her. So it's 4 in the morning. She's run off down the hill through the neighborhood. I'm screaming and calling for her because I'm thinking, oh great, I'm going to have to go drive through the neighborhood at 4 a.m. like a lunatic looking for this dog. And like right at the last minute when I turned around to go inside, she came back. So I thought that the freaking dog had like run away. But other than that, the other day we had a really bad storm, and I swear to you that when I was inside, I saw, I don't know if your house has been ever struck by lightning. I would imagine that it causes damage, but there's all kinds of lightning outside, and I swear when I was inside the house, this big shock of like light, I saw it in the house. That probably sounds crazy and doesn't make sense, but it scared me bad enough. It seemed like it had come out of the lights and things that I called my boyfriend, and he came over, and then the power went out, which was awesome, but he showed me how to fix it. So those are just some of the things that have been happening while I've been here. I'm also going to, in the next few days, try to clean up a little. I'm not trying to insult the people who I'm staying with, but they have a lot of work that they're doing around their house and inside, and I think it would be a nice little project for me to kind of tidy up for them a little bit. I think they might appreciate that. And I'm not going to say anything to them. I don't want to embarrass them or anything. It's not like a major cleanup or anything, but just like sweeping up outside. There's some trash out there. A couple things I saw that might be kind of dangerous, so I think that might be a nice thing to do for them. But I hope you guys might have found this somewhat